Hello out there. Welcome to our podcast today. This is Coach Eric Johnson, the brand.
And this is Coach Aaron Thigpen, the source.
Aaron, what's happening?
Oh, nothing much. Another day. Today's topic was one suggested by one of our listeners, and we want to thank you, Mr. Matthews.
And he listens all the time, man.
But you know what? Here it goes, man. Senior moment.
I got you.
Who is on your board of directors? See, when it's not my ideal, I guess I don't hold on to it as tight.
That's all right, though, man. I do the same thing. We have those moments. We have so many thoughts in our heads, Aaron, all the time about what's happening out here. So that's all right, man. I have those senior moments quite often.
So anyway, who is on your board of directors? Good question, Jason. What he's getting at is, who are those people in your athlete's life that are advising? Are you being advised or following the advice of the peanut gallery in the stands at your kid's game? Are you following the advice of a trainer? Are you following the advice of an ex-athlete? Who is, or do you have anyone to help you make some of the decisions that are going to affect your athlete, whether it's from picking the right trainer, picking the right club team to play for, what sport, what position, all of those things, what schools to look at, how are they being evaluated? I think it's important. We did a podcast a year or so ago called The Company You Keep. And I think this dovetails into that. Who are you surrounding yourself with that can help you be effective with the development of your athlete? So, EJ, take it away.
Great topic, great subject. Jason, thank you for chiming in again. The board of directors, it's important, especially in this day and age where athletes are into, and I think the general public is into instant gratification. It's like, okay, I got to go do this really quick. And if I don't do this, let me go to this over here, because I think that's the best. And I heard a parent say that, so I'm going to go do that. And there's not really any organization or any plan in trying to figure out where your student athlete goes or trains or how they go about the process. And I call it a process, Aaron. And it's important these days. I think it's good to have these mentors, these people that truly are concerned about your student athlete, who care about them and want the best for them. And usually on your board of directors, Aaron, all those people do not have egos. It's like they put it to the side to think that, hey, what's best for this athlete to get them where they need to be academically, athletically, socially? Is this the right place for them? Just to get them on a roadmap or on a trajectory that can help them in the future. So I think it's important to have board directors. I think it's important to have the right people influencing the student athlete out there these days, let alone the professional athlete. I mean, we see so many people professionally and in amateur sports in trouble because they don't have this good board of directors guiding them. So I think it's a great subject today. Let's dive into it, man.
I guess where I want to start with it is, who should not be on your board of directors?
I knew you were going to say that, man. I had a feeling you were going to say that.
My contrarian nature.
Mm-hmm.
You should not be finding your board of directors on the internet. Okay. Us included.
Right.
Okay. You can't just listen to some speeches, some sound bites, those sorts of things, and take that as just what you should do with your kid. We are just exploring topics on our program, and we're giving our opinions. And what I'm hoping that people do is they don't necessarily have to follow what we say, but it should be able to provoke some thought in them. For them to start to look at things another way, look at the facts, the context of their situation, and come to some good decisions. And you can't get that solely from the internet. All right. You have to have people who are engaged with you and your athlete on a regular basis, because they're going to have context. They're going to have the whole picture of what your athlete is facing. And if they can't do that, then they're not someone who probably needs to be on your board of directors. And so anyone, myself included, Coach Prime, everyone out there, bits of information, again, use this as a way of provoking thought, maybe, seeding some ideals, a jumping off point to ask some questions. Another area where you shouldn't be getting, you're laughing, getting your information is the peanut gallery of parents in the stands. Even the parents who have successful athletes have a success record of 1. No one's bona fides are built off of 1 success. People who have bona fides are built off of not only successes, but numerous failures. Because that's how they've learned. So the parent who said, well, I have a kid who was an NCAA athlete and this is what we did, that's all fine and well. And maybe they did it right. Maybe the kid succeeded despite them. But a record of 1-0 is not much of a record. Find someone who's seen the whole spectrum of situations, environments, questions, all of those things. That's the person who's going to be able to give you the best answers. So I started with where you shouldn't be getting your information from. I'll hand it over to you, EJ, and then
That's funny you say that, and I'm laughing because we've been in this for a long time, and we've had successes, we've had failures, we've had all the gambit of understanding. We've had experience. I always tell people, our information's valuable. You're coming to us because of our information and our experiences. You're not coming to us because we've been successful with everyone that was walked through our doors. That's not feasible, and it's not plausible to think that we're 100%, like people say I'm 100% guaranteed. No one's 100% guaranteed, man. But what we are is that we have experiences that we can give you, opinions. And I think when you talk about board of directors, you're talking about people that have had all experiences that can guide you in a direction and get you to think about decisions that can lead to a better opportunity for you. And I think those people need to be on your board of directors, those people who can give you those experiences that can say, listen, here's 2 sides to the story. Here's side A, here's side B. Pluses, minuses. Let's weigh our decision and let's do what we think is best. And I think those type of people need to be on your board of directors that understand that. And I said this earlier, those people usually will check their ego at the door and really have your best vested interest in moving forward. So you want those type of people, that have those experiences. You also, Aaron, I think you also want a type of person or a group that really understands the marketplace, you know. And when I say understands the marketplace, understands that what's there at Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, different professional levels. They do background checks on the colleges or the professional organizations, and they have other people that they're using too. It's not only their facts that they know, but they are checking on, just cross checking references. You want those kind of people who are going to do their homework to help you out. And those type of people need to be on your board of directors. And I think that's super important. That gets left in the shuffle, a lot of times. Oh, I just know this person. Well, how do you know that person, and what's your background with them? So I'm thinking those people need to be in front of you. And here's another thing too, for the parents out there. It's all right to talk to other parents, but be careful about just thinking that, you've had one or two successes or failures, and, don't do that, do that. You hear a lot of that, Aaron. And I tell parents, be careful, because the industry changes. And if I was to look at college baseball these days, it's changed so much in the past 2 to 3 years that really coaches don't know where it's going sometimes. So let alone how do, one or two parents in the stands know? If coaches are at least referring to me and asking me, hey, do you know what's going on? I go, no, I don't. But I'm going to talk to as many people as I can in the NCAA, and as many people that coach in the NCAA, what's going on. So parents, be aware of that, because the industry is always changing, and have people on your board of directors that understand the industry as much as they can. Those are my two things right there. What else you got over there?
Um, I think having those people on your board of directors are people that you should have a personal relationship with, or develop a personal relationship with. That way there's a little bit more vested on their side versus just a paycheck, but
Right.
they sincerely want to see your athlete succeed because of, your relationship versus, again, just a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
And, that board of directors can be a variety of different people. It can be an older athlete. Okay. It can be a coach. It could be, a mentor. It could be a lot of different people. It could be another parent,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not knocking parents,
Right.
but what I'm saying is, I guess it should be a variety of different people who can bring different perspectives,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So maybe it's your athlete is somebody who is now in college, who's just freshly been through the process, or is going through the process, and someone you can talk to. Maybe it's an upperclassman,
Mm-hmm.
that you can talk to, who this experience is very fresh with them, and they can go to. Maybe it's a coach. Doesn't have to be a successful coach. It's not about wins or losses, but a coach who has been successful in moving athletes on to the next level at all levels. Doesn't have to be this guy who just, put all these kids into D1 schools.
Right.
You know, it's probably better to see a coach or talk to a coach that has put kids at multiple levels, because they're going to be better able to assess where your athlete is, and maybe which pathways to go down if you're choosing D1 versus D2 versus junior college or D3 or whatever the case may be. It doesn't hurt to have what I call an old wise man who's
Mm.
seen it all. and seeing all the different iterations and can kind of foresee the different avenues that you can take and go to. Yeah, I knock the internet because I think the internet can be an informational tool, but it's not a knowledge tool. And you have to be able to take that information from the internet and churn that into knowledge. And you can churn that into knowledge by having experience. They're the people who are best equipped to use that information. So I'm not saying you can't grab a piece of information off the internet, but if you do, don't take it as the gospel. Say, hey, coach, I found this on the internet. What do you think? What is your take on this? And,
well said.
and
Right.
use the power of the internet that way versus taking everything at face value.
Ooh.
So, I mean, that's where I think I would start is more about the makeup of how you're putting this board of directors, together is what's important, and having a multifaceted look at what needs to happen, with your athlete. Now, ultimately, you guys have the ultimate decision, but it doesn't hurt to field this information. And, to be honest with you, don't involve people who you're really not going to listen to. I'm going to say it again.
Wow.
Don't involve people who you're really not going to listen to, because I've been doing this 30 years and I've run into so many people who ask advice, and they don't have to take my advice, but they really don't hear it either, because they come back around and ask for the same advice again. So, if you want to ask them for the advice, hear it, listen to it. Don't have to follow it, but, internalize it. Don't waste, someone's time.
Don't keep on asking the same question over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron, I'd sum it up like this, what you've said today. It takes a village. It takes a village. And the board of directors is that village that helps you get your student athlete where they need to be, or your athlete in general.
Well, you may say it takes a village. I'm being contrarian today, DJ. You know what? It doesn't take a village. It takes an elite squad.
Whoa.
Of
Okay.
a few good men or women. That's
Okay.
it.
I like that.
You don't need to ask everybody. Find the right people who can help you get the job done. Period.
Well said. Well said today. That's the brand and the source coming right at you right there.
Two different approaches. Figure out
right.
what works for you.
Exactly. With that said, that's going to wrap up our podcast today. Hey, check us out. We want to know what you say, how you feel, what you're thinking. Hit us up on our social media, man. Hit us up on YouTube. Hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up on Instagram. Anything like that, Aaron. So we can have these great subjects every week.
Yeah, and like that stuff, guys. Doesn't take a lot. Hit the like. Let us know you're out there, you're listening, you're watching, and we'll keep it coming.
This is The Brand, Coach EJ.
This is Aaron Thigpen, the contrarian, the source. We'll see you.